Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another client tutorial. Here's my beautiful client. I'm starting off by cleansing her skin with the micellar water. And next I will be moving to the brows. And I will start brushing those hairs, getting them ready. And I always start at the beginning of each brow. I am just framing her brows. They are beautiful and full already. And I am just starting from the bottom and moving to the top, all the way to the tail end of the brow. Once I'm done with framing the brow, I always observe the brow, making sure that there's no missing hairs where product is needed. And once I'm done with filling her brow, I will take my Wet n Wild concealer brush and I will use the Too Faced Multi-Sculpting Concealer in the shade Butterscotch to clean her brows up. I always start at the beginning of the brow and I move all around until I make it to the tail end of the brow. And I know it looks like I'm moving fast, you guys, but I promise you, you have to take your time. And once I make it to the tail end, I always repeat that same process, just making sure that I haven't missed any areas on that brow. I want to make sure that it is a straight line and it is clean and perfect. I will take the remaining of that product and I will drag it down on the eyelid and take my Real Techniques blending brush to blend that product out all over the eyelid. I will repeat the same steps on the next eye and start cleaning up the top part of the brow with the shade Chestnut in the Too Faced concealer. I'm just repeating that same step, starting at the beginning and moving all the way down to the tail end. And once I'm done with that, I am going to blend that out with that same blending brush. And I will repeat the same steps on the next eye. And this is the results. Now we're going to move on to the eyes. I'm using Butter in the Jaclyn Hill Volume 1 eyeshadow palette. This is my transitional shade. I don't know what happened to the footage, you guys, but the second shade I used was in Roxanne, and now I am using the MAC Paints and Painterly, just blending that in, preparing for my shimmer shades. And I am going to take that Roxanne shade just to blend out those harsh edges. Now I am using the shade, the shimmer shade in Firework, and I will move that halfway on the eyelid. And once I make it halfway, I will start with another shade called Queen. I will apply that and blend it in with that Firework shade. Just making sure that those lines are perfect and straight. This is the finished look on the eyes. Now we're going to move into eyeliner. I'm using the Sephora Precision Black Liquid Eyeliner, and we're not doing anything dramatic. We're just doing a simple line. You have to have a steady hand and take your time. Just as you are seeing me do, I am taking my time because you could easily make a mistake and it's hard to correct a mistake with black. Anything black. black liquid liner, black eyeshadow, because it's the darkest shade. And I'm going to repeat the same step on the other eye. And now I am just prepping the skin with the Pond's Daily Moisturizer. She has combination skin. This is perfect to sit under her primer. I am using the Milk Hydro Grip Primer as well. It's a beautiful combination with the Pond's moisturizer. Now I'm just using my beauty blender just to blend that out. I love this damp beauty blender. It's melting in her skin beautifully. Ready for foundation application. Today's foundation, we'll be using Macao, the NARS Radiant Foundation. You always want to match the neck with the face. Sometimes the neck is darker than the neck, but you want to make sure that the face matches the neck. So I'm just using a foundation brush just to apply that, and I'm going to blend it out with my Instapop cheek brush by Real Techniques. And I'm just making sure that that product is melting in her skin and being evenly distributed. So we don't want any harsh lines. And I never put a lot of foundation on the forehead simply because we're going to contour. We don't want to put too much up there. And I'm taking that same damp beauty blender just to make sure that everything is blended out, that there's no foundation sitting on the skin. And if you can see, the foundation shade matches perfectly with her neck as well. Now I am using that same Too Faced concealer in the shade Butterscotch to highlight her under eyes. And we're going to put that product on the forehead, under the eyes, above her lip, on the bridge of her nose, and her chin. There we are. And now I am using my Real Techniques setting brush just to blend that concealer out. Now I always start on the edge and then I move up to the eyes. And you always want to let your concealer sit for a few minutes so it gets tacky and it melts into the skin, and when you begin to blend, your product won't move, it'll stay in place. So now I'm just going over it with that foundation brush, making sure that I don't have any lines of demarcation. I want to make sure that everything is blended in well. I am using my e.l.f. beauty sponge, and it is damp, to blend out under the eyes. The sponge does better for me under the eyes, and I always use the brushes to blend out the lower part. Now I'm using that same foundation brush just to go over those lines, making sure that everything is melted in and blended in perfectly. I am going in with a shade lighter. This is the NARS Radiant Concealer in medium deep. I think it's 1.5, and I'm just putting that concealer in the same areas. I will let that sit for a minute, and now I am using the Ebony Bronze Contour Stick, and I put them in all the areas where the contour areas are. Now I am blending out that concealer with that same e.l.f. damp beauty blender. Now I'm using the Real Techniques Face Expert brush to blend out that contour color. blender. I'm just going over that contour area, making sure that we don't have any harsh lines. Blending is key. Blending, blending, blending is key. Now I am contouring her nose, blending that product out. And you want to take your time with this as well. Now I am taking that damp beauty blender just to make sure that we don't have any harsh lines before we get the setting powder to start setting that concealer. I am using the Huda Beauty Easy Bake setting powder in Canufa, if I'm pronouncing that correct. And we're just going to set all the areas where we place that concealer. And I always have my clients to look up so the under eyes don't crease. Once I'm done with that first setting powder, we're going to bake with the Laura Mercier translucent powder. We're going to let that bake for a few minutes. Make sure that we bake the nose. And now I am using the Morphe bronzer in Trailblazer, and I am setting that contour with that. Going over that contour again with that Trailblazer shade. Taking that Roxanne shade, and I am smoking it under her lower lash line. I've already applied my Inglot gel liner in number 77. Now I'm setting the entire face with MAC NC47. Just going to go over the whole face with that to set the entire face. Now I'm using the Milani blush in Coral, and she is loving this blush, you guys, and it's so beautiful on her skin. I love blush myself, you guys. And now I'm using the Charlotte's Tilbury setting powder in number 3, and we are just melting that bake in with that powder because we do not want any flashback. It's very important to set your under eyes with a setting powder once you're done with baking. whole face with the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. This is my handy dandy fan, just to give it a quick dry. Now I'm taking a clean Instapot brush just to press that spray in, making sure that it is evenly distributed in her skin. I'm using the Milani number 4 highlighter, and I'm just applying that on the bridge of her nose. And I'm just using a Real Techniques brush. Cheekbones. She's really feeling herself, you guys. Beautiful young lady inside and out. I'm so thankful for her. And I almost forgot, you guys, I've already applied the lashes. Those are the Eye Envy. I got them from my local beauty supply store in the number 14. Blending that out, making sure that we don't have any harsh lines. Now I'm just adding some more of that Queen shimmer shade just to bring her eyes out a little bit more. Removing onto the lips, I am using the NYX lip liner in the shade Espresso, and we are going to use the MAC Mint lipstick, and we're going to top it off with NYX Butter Gloss in Fortune Cookie. I always have my clients to pat their lips, making sure that everything is blended in. And now I'm just adding that Fortune Cookie butter gloss on top of that lipstick, and what a beautiful combo. It again, making sure that her line is perfect and pigmented. And now I'm just blending that out, that lip liner with the lip gloss and the lipstick. Now I'm adding some Wet n Wild mascara on her lower lash line. And this is the finished look, you guys. Thank you guys. I love the way this came out. I hope and pray that this is helpful to you all. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching. Stay tuned for another upcoming tutorial. Thanks so much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe and give this video a big thumbs up. God bless.